With the NFL season right around the corner, we'll take a first look at the Week 1 NFL Survivor slate and give you all the details for our FFC NFL Survivor Pool. It's free to enter with a prize pool of $300, and it's all coming up next. Hello, everyone. This is Eric Lee with the Fantasy Football Consultants. After 4 years of providing consistent NFL Survivor content, last year we had only limited coverage, and we heard from you. You wanted it back, and guess what? It is back. This year, we're going to be providing regular weekly NFL Survivor content, and our NFL Survivor contest is back. So in this video, we're going to do a first look, just a quick peek at the NFL Survivor Week 1. But before that, I want to tell you all about our NFL Survivor contest, how to participate, and how to enter. All right, let's talk about how to sign up for our NFL Survivor pool. Don't worry, it's super easy. Just make sure you do these following steps in order. The first thing you need to do is log into your CBS Sports account at cbssports.com. If you do not have an account, not a problem. Go to that same site and sign up for a free account. Now, once you are logged in, then you can access our Survivor pool by simply putting it into the browser. You can see it on the screen, fantasyfootballconsultants.football.cbssports.com. And then that will take you to our pool site. All right, so it takes you to this screen once you're logged in. Go up to picks, go ahead and make picks, and then it will show you the slate of games for that particular week. Go ahead, pick your favorite team that you would want to go with. Let's say you want Seattle. You click that, you click save, boom, you're done for the week. All right, I want to go over some key rules that everybody should know for the NFL Survivor pool. You have to make a pick of one team each week. If the team you select loses or ties that week, you are eliminated. That's it. But if your team wins, you survive the week, and you and all the other remaining survivors will pick a team the next week until the end of the season, or until one contestant remains. One key component of any Survivor pool is once you select an NFL team, you may not select that team again for the rest of the season. Now, this is very unlikely, but if the NFL season ends before the pool is narrowed to 10 survivors or less, we will not pay out any cash prizes. We just can't break out the cash prizes to 30 people. But that's unlikely. That has never come close to happening. But we want to put that out there. All right, here are some technical details that you need to put an alarm or reminder on your phone, because if you don't make a pick that particular week, you are automatically eliminated. If there's a case that all the remaining contestants are eliminated, that could happen if we get down to, let's say, 5 or 6 people. And then everybody gets it wrong. The pool does continue to the next week with the contestants just from that previous week reactivated. Let's talk a little about locking. So games lock the moment all games lock when the first game on that day has begun. So in other words, if you are on Friday and you forgot to look at it, you obviously can't make Thursday's games picks, but you can make the picks on Sunday and Monday because those games have not locked yet. However, if you log in on Sunday and the games have already started, the morning games, you can't make Thursday's game. You can't make any of the picks on Sunday. Your only option is to make a pick for Monday, which may be limited because maybe some of the teams you've already picked. So the word of warning, make sure that you remember to consider making picks before the Thursday game, so you have all the games at your disposal. Anytime you want to see other people's selections, you can say view all, but they only will show once the games are locked. So you can see Sunday 5 minutes before all of the games, everybody's picks, if they picked any of the Sunday games. One key point to qualify for any prizes, you must be a Fantasy Football Consultants YouTube subscriber throughout the year. So if you haven't yet, before the season starts, go ahead right now, smash the red subscribe button at the bottom of this video. It's free, and it makes you eligible for the prize pool. Speaking of the prize pool, there is a $300 prize pool. Let me be clear. There is no cost to enter this contest. The prize pool is $300. It's broken up into two components. First of all, $200 goes automatically to the lone survivor. If more than one contestant makes it through all the way to week 18, for example, let's suppose there's 2 people who survive, then the $200 will be divided equally among the remaining survivors. In that situation, both participants will take home $100. Now, there's also a $100 bonus prize for any of the winning survivor or group of survivors that make it to the end, and they enter in the YouTube comment section at least 80% of the time on the applicable NFL Survivor YouTube video for each week. So, and you got to put that comment before the game's log. So early on, I really appreciate it if people put in comments saying, this is who I think I'm going to pick, and here's why, just so we can getting some feedback. But as it narrows down to fewer and fewer people, I can see from a competitive standpoint, you don't want to disclose your pick. So I'm fine just talking about the games and what you're considering without giving away your pick. So if, for example, 2 people will survive to the end and both of them are putting the comments, then they'll share that $100, $50 each. But if one of them didn't enter the comments, then that remaining person gets the entire $100 prize pool. So that's how that works. Any questions on the rules or anything like that, put it in the comment section of this video, and I'll be happy to answer it. This is also critical. To make payout easy for us, we're going to do it all through PayPal. So you need to have access to our PayPal account. So either you have to have one or some other family member or friend that you trust. We'll PayPal them, and then you can get the funds from that particular person. All right, so what we want to do is want to take a look at the Survivor Week 1 slate, get some initial first look thoughts. But before we do that, just want to make sure you are not missing any of our 2023 preseason content. You can look on the board, lots of stuff that we have going, but I want to highlight the YouTube Shorts. We're making a big play to get involved in YouTube Shorts. We have a show, the NFL Survivor Strategy Show, which I will link up at the top. Must-see viewing if you're serious about playing an NFL Survivor. But a lot of people said, hey, the Survivor show is about 27, 28 minutes. The NFL DFS series is about 6 hours. And they said, can you do a shorter version of some of the highlights? That's what we did in these YouTube Shorts. So in the description of this video, we are going to show you a link to the playlist so you can binge these YouTube Shorts. They're only a minute each. So binging the NFL Survivor Strategy Shorts is 3 minutes, and binging the Master Class Series is only about 12 or 14 minutes. So definitely recommend that you check those out. As well as we got such a good response for our long-form content about a comedy skit episodes of things that fantasy football players say. We are making a whole series of shorts for that. If you play fantasy football, we think that you're going to find them hilarious. Love it if you check those out and provide any comments in the comment section. And if you play fantasy football, you need a team name. And we have the top 50 team names and league names as a part of shorts this year. There's some exciting news here at the FFC, led by the fact that we have some new FFC merchandise. Below any of our FFC videos, you're going to see our new merch store. And you're going to be noticed right off the bat how cheap they are, because we have priced everything at cost. And so I'm just going to show you a couple of things. Here is the FFC t-shirt. Here is the FFC hat, which I am a big fan of. And I got over here the FFC sweatshirt, if I can put it on top. So anyway, check it out. We're super excited about the fact that we're now on TikTok now. Can you believe that? We're only providing short form content on TikTok, a lot of the stuff that we're doing in our YouTube shorts. But here's a real favor we ask you. If you are already on TikTok, please check us out, the Fantasy Football Consultants channel, and give us a follow. We're brand new on TikTok, so we barely have any followers. So if our YouTube community can help us out, it'll help us get noticed on TikTok, which will also just in general help grow our community, not just on TikTok, but on YouTube. We'd really appreciate it. All right, enough of all that. Let's get into the week 1 slate on Survivor. All right, here's week 1. These are the 8 biggest spreads for week 1. So we're going to do a detailed show where we really break down these games. It's not just me. We're going to have the regular co-host, Michael Wiley, and we'll also at least try to get at least one guest host so you guys get a variety of opinions. But I'm going to give you some of my first look thoughts here about week 1. Let's go through it. Let's start with Baltimore, who are 10-point favorites at home versus Houston. I expect this to be the chalk pick. It's scary, though. Why? Because I'm looking at Houston. Last year, week 1, Houston was on the road. Houston was the biggest underdog. And guess what they did? They tied the Colts and knocked a whole lot of people out in Survivor. But I got to believe I'm feeling a lot more confident this time, because I love, if you watched our power ranking shows, I love the Baltimore Ravens this year. I would say they'd be my dark horse pick to win the Super Bowl. I really think it's going to come down in that game is how I'd love to see a game or two before I use Baltimore in my NFL Survivor, because I want to see how those new passing weapons work. They got Odell Beckham Jr., and they got Zay Flowers, their first-round draft pick. Really interesting to see. Where on Houston, let's not forget, they were a Hail Mary away from being the worst team in football last year. And yes, they made a splash by getting 2 of the first 3 picks, rookie C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson on the defensive side. But, they lost Brandon Cooks, who last year was their best player. I expect Houston to be bad, really bad this year. And at least early on, the rookie C.J. Stroud, I think this is definitely a safe route, but it's going to be a high pick popularity. Let's go on to the second pick, the second highest spread, Washington. So again, if you've watched our power ranking shows, no one has been more critical of the Arizona Cardinals than I. I think that they're the worst team in the NFL. And I think they're going to be especially bad at the beginning of the season before they get their quarterback, Kyler Murray. Let's not forget that DeAndre Hopkins is gone on offense and J.J. Watt is gone on defense. I think it's not a secret that Arizona is a bad team. And they're on the road to the Washington Commanders. The only thing that's a little scary from the Washington side, even though I think that they're the superior team, we're going to see Sam Howell as the starting quarterback, and I think he's had 1 game of NFL experience, so it's a little scary if he has a bad game here. The other thing that's great about this particular pick is I don't know if you're going to really. Washington has very little future value. There are not many games that you're going to feel comfortable picking them. Get them out of the way here against Arizona. Totally understand if you want to go this route. We've got 2 teams here that are 6.5-point favorites, both at home, Kansas City and Minnesota, facing Detroit and Tampa Bay. I don't like Kansas City as a pick for week 1. I really respect this Detroit team. They finished so strong last year. They had another big draft haul. There are just going to be so many more games that I feel more comfortable with Kansas City, and Kansas City is going to have huge future value. So I'm going to pass on this. My first inkling to say is, yeah, there's probably going to be low pick popularity here with Kansas City, but I don't know. I think you can get a lot of casuals in NFL Survivor who see Kansas City and go, I'm just going to take the safe route. And Detroit didn't make the playoffs last year, so they're not a good team. And that's wrong. Detroit is going to be a really good team this year. So I'm out on the Kansas City pick. I can guarantee you I'm not going to do that. Minnesota is intriguing. They won 13 games last year, but they also were a team that had more points scored against them than points scored for them. So I'm not a huge Minnesota fan of how strong that they were. I think 13 wins was inflated based on their ability. But my gosh, there's a lot of negativity on Tampa Bay this year. Tom Brady is gone, and it's probably going to be Baker Mayfield starter in week 1. But I'm not feeling super confident with I feel better about Minnesota than Kansas City, but I don't feel super confident about that particular pick. Let's go to Seattle. Seattle is 4.5-point favorites against the LA Rams. I'm shocked. Maybe it's just because I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan. I expected Seattle to be more of a 6.5-point favorite, kind of along with Kansas City and Minnesota here. They're playing at home. They're playing a Ram team that most people think are not going to be very good this year. They had a whole bunch of guys on their defensive side that are gone. Jalen Ramsey is gone. Bobby Wagner's gone. He's actually going to be playing in this game, but playing for Seattle. They lost their 2 safeties, Taylor Rapp and Nick Scott. So, and they didn't replace any of those guys, right? So they still have the 3 superstars, right? Aaron Donald, Matthew Stafford, and Cooper Kupp. But here's my suggestion with this game. Watch the news with Cooper Kupp. The latest that I saw is it looks like, because he's injured right now in preseason, it looks like he's going to be ready for week 1, bad hamstring. But those things can linger. So if Cooper Kupp is not playing, and Seattle has injuries as well, Kenneth Walker has been hurt this preseason, but he appears like he is going to play. But if Walker plays and Cooper Kupp doesn't, man, I think I like Seattle here more than Kansas City or Minnesota as an NFL Survivor pick. All right, the 2 other picks here at 4.5 points. Philadelphia is at New England at 4.5. I know the game's in New England, but I am a little surprised by this spread. I thought it would be a little bit higher. I'm bullish on the Philadelphia Eagles this year. The only thing that you have to worry a little bit about is they lost a few guys on their defensive line, and they replaced them with rookies. Really good rookies, first round caliber rookies. Actually, they were in the first round. But they'll be making their NFL debut on the road. Might want to wait and see with Philadelphia. They're going to be better games that Philadelphia certainly will face in the future. But of the 4.5 point favorites, I think Jacksonville is an intriguing pick. Indianapolis Colts have named their starting quarterback, and it is going to be their rookie. So facing a rookie starting quarterback, they are going to be on the road. I get that. But this Jacksonville offense is stacked. Trevor Lawrence, think about where he was as a rookie and where he is now. He has progressed tremendously, and he's got so many weapons to throw to. Tight end Evan Ingram, wide receivers Christian Kirk and Zay Jones, and they add Calvin Ridley to that. I mean, Ridley is amazing. I mean, I know he's been out of football for a little bit, but he's still a young guy, and the last time we saw him, he was getting like 90 receptions and almost 1,400 yards. So I think Jacksonville is a very intriguing pick and likely will be a very low pick popularity. And then finally, the Denver Broncos, 4-point favorites at home against what most people think is going to be a bad Las Vegas team. The problem is the Denver Broncos were a bad team last year. Now, they now have Sean Payton. Russell Wilson played better at the end of last year. So do we think that we'll get a Russell Wilson that is more like the Russell Wilson from his Seattle days under the tutelage of Sean Payton? I don't know, but here's what I do know. I certainly would like a couple games to see before I make that leap into the pool. So I probably am not going to go with the Denver pick, but I get it. I get it. If you believe that the Broncos are going to be playing the well as we expect them to play, this is going to be a pick that has low pick popularity. And, you know, Denver at home against Las Vegas, the Broncos don't have a lot of games that'll be better than this. And enter in the comment section right off the bat, just first look, who do you think your NFL Survivor Pool pick will be for week 1 and why? Until next time, take care, everybody. We'll put up on the screen now that NFL Survivor Strategy Show and another video we think you'll enjoy.